Good afternoon, you're watching Qnews, bringing you the latest regional and international developments. Here are the top stories making headlines this hour. The United Nations Development Programme says the war in Gaza may be over, but the battle against poverty and destruction has just begun. UNDP Special Representative Yeko Silias has said that while the ceasefire offers hope, rebuilding Gaza will be an enormous challenge, with 55 million tons of debris still covering the enclave. He warned that unexploded bombs and limited access to materials are major obstacles, adding that the war against poverty in Gaza has now begun. A convoy carrying the body of a deceased detainee returned by Hamas arrived at Israel's National Center of Forensic Medicine in Tel Aviv this morning, amid tensions over delays in the return of remains under the Gaza ceasefire deal. Israel confirmed the Red Cross handed over the body overnight, marking the 10th deceased hostage received from Gaza. Hamas said it recovered the body from beneath rubble, citing technical difficulties slowing the process. Israel insists the group already knows the location of all remaining bodies, warning that patience is running thin. This is disputed. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan warned that Israel may use Hamas's difficulty in recovering bodies from Gaza's rubble as a pretext to resume military operations. Speaking alongside his German counterpart, Johann Wadefull, Fidan expressed concern over recent Israeli statements, calling them worrying. He added that Ankara plans to join an international task force in Gaza to monitor the implementation of the ceasefire and ensure its continuation. Palestinian teams are conducting excavation operations in Qnews in southern Gaza to recover bodies buried beneath the rubble. The search efforts come as part of ongoing recovery operations following months of the Israeli bombardment. Rescue workers say the scale of destruction has made recovery slow and dangerous, with many areas still difficult to access due to debris and unexploded bombs. Israel's public broadcaster has reported that the occupation army and security services are opposed to resuming fighting in Gaza, instead recommending non-military measures to pressure Hamas. That's according to the reports. The Israeli army has advised the government to use alternative methods rather than force to exert pressure on Hamas. Security officials are said to be pushing for diplomatic and economic approaches amid growing opposition within the defense establishment to a new round of hostilities in the Gaza Strip. Now, in other news, US President Donald Trump has urged both Ukraine and Russia to halt fighting at the battle line. That's following his meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House. Speaking later in Florida, Trump said the war should stop immediately and both sides should hold their positions, warning that it's too complicated to settle otherwise. While he did not rule out supplying Ukraine with long-range Tomahawk missiles, Trump appeared focused on his upcoming meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin in Hungary, saying he wants both parties to stop the killing and make a deal.
We had a very good meeting, very cordial meeting. In my opinion, they should stop the war.
And violent clashes broke out near the U.S. Embassy in Bogota as protesters, some identified as indigenous, confronted police during nationwide demonstrations. Authorities said 4 police officers were injured when demonstrators hurled fireworks, explosives and arrows. Bogota's mayor condemned the criminal acts, while riot police used water cannons to disperse the crowds. The unrest came amid protests organized by the Congress of the Peoples, a movement representing indigenous communities. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has informed the UN Security Council that the resolution underpinning the 2015 nuclear deal has expired completely, blaming US and European excessive demands for undermining the accord's core purpose. In his letter to the Council, Araghchi warned that any attempt to trigger the snapback mechanism against Tehran is legally void and would damage the UN's credibility. He reaffirmed that Iran remains committed to its rights and obligations under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, stressing that the country will continue to pursue peaceful nuclear activities in line with international law.
Significant non-performance. Resolution 2231 restrictions will expire permanently.
And that's our top stories for this hour. Stay with us for continuing coverage, analysis and breaking updates from across the region and around the world here on